Welcome to Talk of the Times, where I give you a glimpse of what people were thinking over 100 years ago. This time, let's talk about road work. I know you've had the experience where there's road work ahead and you get sent on a detour that seems to be a nightmare. Well, it could have been worse, as this article from December of 1919 shows. The headline is, "Travelers Forced to Take Winding Detour, Number of Cars Stuck in Mud, and Many Cuss Words Uttered." During the closing days of last week, Hastings and vicinity experienced a recurrence to the good old times when roads ambled aimlessly through the woods and were composed of whatever substance chanced to be in the line of their progress. The consensus of opinion regarding the result of the experiment seems to be the effect that no matter how satisfactorily such roads may have been in the days when the chief mode of locomotion was muleback, it is a flat failure in these days of automobiles. The cause of the experience was the closing of the St. Augustine Road at a point beyond Elkton for the purpose of repairing a bridge. First reports based on the length of time taken in the operation indicated repairs on nothing less than a steel bridge about the size of the toll bridge into Palatka. But later reports were more conservative and brought the size of the bridge down to a small wooden structure the size little beyond the chicken type. However, Hastings citizens and many others had their experience and will presumably remember it for some time to come. The detour over which they were forced to travel twisted and turned snake fashion through meadows and woods for a distance which is said to have been 2.5 miles. Those who traveled it, however, disagree vociferously with that measurement, placing it at least 10 miles beyond that point. At any rate, its course was chosen with great care and included one ford, not of the wheeled type, and a fine selection of assorted mud holes here and there, with a sandbank thrown in for good measure. People native to this section or who have been here long enough to have learned how to navigate difficult roads when occasion demanded contrived to worry through, although in some cases their remarks would have badly strained the relationships between themselves and their pastors. At frequent intervals, however, cars bearing stout and complacent northerners accustomed only to the smoothest of roads would come jouncing through the detour, the passengers hanging on for dear life and wearing expressions of deepest pain and horror. It is hinted that, as a result, liniment sales in the local drugstores picked up amazingly last week. Nightfarers found themselves in even worse predicaments. Stalled and damaged cars became common, and it was found not impossible to even miss the road entirely and go sauntering off through the woods. 2 prominent local citizens shared this sad fate and spent an entire night watching for the sunrise and trying to outdo each other in expressions of opinions relative to the road and those responsible for its enforced use. Even bus traffic was interrupted, the bus being obliged to spend considerable of its time extricating itself and other cars from mud holes. When the announcement was made later Saturday afternoon that the road would open up at 6 o'clock, a sigh of relief went up that was mistaken in the vicinity for a rising gale. Did you enjoy this week's Talk of the Times? Like what you heard? Make sure to follow the Hastings Main Street page to hear new episodes when they come out.